Okay, is this thing on? I hope so. Let's talk about some things. Let me get comfy. Um, I just got a dog. Yay. And he was here for all of 3 days before I couldn't take it anymore. It probably wasn't even 3 days. Okay, so this is crazy. Let's start at the beginning. So I've never had a pet before. I had a goldfish once, and I think my mom killed it on accident. Maybe, who knows? But I've never really had a pet before, and I have had like my sister had a dog at one point, one of my sisters, and he kind of like lived with us, but that wasn't really my responsibility. Um, there was another point where I lived with my cousin, and she has Gizmo. Again, not my responsibility. Um, but this being my responsibility, I think really is what I'm trying to say. I don't think I really understood. So anyway, about like maybe like almost a year ago. I know a year ago I was looking at cats and looking at dogs. I was like, I need a little companion. I'm a single lady. Cat ladies running the world. But the only thing with cats is that if you get cats, you gotta get a kitten. And I'm not about to have two kittens in my house, like two people. Me and another person in my house, but me and then two kittens, like I got a lot of kids in here. So I kind of was looking at the puppy route because I'm like, I go on walks a lot. I go to the park a lot. Um, I go on hikes and things that I was just like, oh, that would be so cute for a dog. Oh, so cute, so cute, so cute. Yeah, that was my first problem. Treating it in some form or fashion like an accessory versus an actual, like I said, responsibility. And I'm willing to admit that. My bad. At least I did get him from like a shelter. So it was like I think it was more traumatizing for him to be here with me versus like going back to be with his brothers and sisters because he like was a part of a whole litter, and it's like it was adjustment period for both of us. Anyway, so about a year ago I was like looking at cats, looking at dogs, and then I was like, I want a dog. I want a companion. I want somebody here with me, but like a dog, I guess is my option. Hard truths. Anyway, so I've been looking for a dog pretty much for months, like since March or April. April probably heavily though. When I tell you, like, I have showed my friends these dogs, like, oh, I'm trying to get this dog, this dog, this dog. And it's like, I get it. You do want to take your time because you want to think about the things that you're doing before you do them. But sometimes it's like, if you got to think too long about it, you don't want it. Anyway, um, I just ate this really bomb, like rotisserie chicken that this man be making at the farmer's market. Um, but that's beside the point. Like, so I've been looking at dogs pretty much like months. Got sending them to my friends. Oh, this dog. You know what I mean? And when I tell you, like, all through the summer, like, just like for months, like, they've been like looking at dogs. I was looking at buying like a toy poodle or like a mini poodle, but they're so expensive. And then I had these clients who told me they had a little dog, told me about the website they got their dog from. And then I was looking at that website and it was like I found a really beautiful little puppy for $1,000. And it's just like, this is so much cheaper. And then doing research and being like, is this a puppy mill? What's going on? Um, Trying not to get involved with the puppy mills of the world, being nervous about the travel because it was in another state. Uh, to okay, I'm gonna go the shelter route to applying for dogs and not getting them. It only happened with like one dog, two. Well, but that's because my friends who work at shelters and like all of that told me I need to go in person, not just email. So all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, and then my friend texted me like, "Oh, we're having," like, he texted me and he texted our group chat like pictures of him holding this dog, cutest dog I've ever. Let me see if I can insert Biscotti. RIP my dog. He not dead. He's just not with me. Um. So anyway, what else? What else? Where was I in the story? I go to his job because they're having a adoption event, and I meet this dog, and I'm like, he's so beautiful. I love him. I want him. And then I go and I have another meet and greet with him because I do my application, I do all those things, and like I pass all of that. And then I go and do another meet and greet with him. I chill with him for a minute, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want this dog. I want to move forward. And it all happened so fast, and it probably didn't, but for me, it happened so fast. Anyway, so I adopted him. I bought all this stuff for him. Very extra in that department. I love to buy. She's a shopper. Anyway, so I bought him stuff. I made a registry, made my friends buy him stuff. And he came home. He came home, ladies and gentlemen. First thing he did was take a bath because you're not going to come in here in my house smelling like that. Quickly after that, I realized, in our day to day that was happening, I had these like certain expectations or things that I would want from a dog. Like, for instance, you can't sleep in my bed. I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. But he out here whining in the living room by himself because it's like, you're not used to that. So then I had to come sleep in the living room with him because I'm a sucker. Identity came. Oh, I'm probably have to cut that out because I can't be singing these songs getting sued. Anyway, Suck for Love by Identity Kane, real one. Anyway, so it wasn't like I said, it wasn't that like that was a whoa, like obviously like it's a puppy, but whatever, like, but more so it was like it wasn't the responsibility of it all because it's like, yeah, you got to clean up after them, you got to watch them, but it was just like, yo, it was the fact that this is like a 6 month process. Whoa, this is a process, like a never ending toddler. And I don't know if I'm ready to do that, like as a single mom. Like I come in, like, first of all, let's take a moment of silence and shout out to the single moms and the single pet moms. Because y'all A plus is for everybody. A plus is for everybody because it's not fair and it's not cool. And it's not even really doable. So I feel like we need to start looking at the superhuman DNA that kicks in when you're a mom. Because I remember one time my cousin lifted like a whole dollhouse or something crazy with one hand. And she was like, that's that mom strength. And I was like, she has stuff in the other hand, mind you. I was like, you're scaring me. Anyway, shout out to them, superheroes, every last one of them. And they need to get paid for that. I do think it's crazy that y'all will pay people to foster, but y'all won't pay the moms that obviously need the help. I don't know. Like there need to be some more programs. Open up the schools, open up the programs. Um, give money. Let's stop giving the money to the people that got too much of it with the tax breaks, and let's start giving the money to the single moms. Just throw them money. I don't like. Here you go, girl. What's this for? What do you mean? What do you, Justin Bieber? What do you mean? What she say? Anyway, shout out Mona Leo too. Um, we're back, and y'all never even knew we left. So back to where I left off at. It just really hit me that this responsibility was mine alone, and it could possibly be mine alone for the next 17 years. Absolutely not. But let's get into that I wanted somebody here comment. Let's get down to it. You can just be like great social life. You have all these friends, you got all these things, but you be lonely. And y'all know what I'm talking about, like the loneliness epidemic. I live by myself, like I said, and sometimes it's really lonely here. And I was like, I need companionship. And so I got this dog, or I was like looking for an animal because I'm like, companionship. And I got this dog. And I will say that I did not feel less lonely and I did not feel companionized. I just felt like I had put on another responsibility on top of all these other responsibilities I already have. And I'm already kind of overwhelmed. And so it was just super overwhelming. And I feel bad. I do feel bad for like taking them back and going through the whole thing. But I feel better that he's not here. So I know sometimes we can feel bad or like, oh, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but it's like, at whose expense? I don't want to hurt people's feelings either, but at whose expense should I not be hurting someone else? Because if I would have tried, oh, I feel bad for getting them and then taking them right back. If I would have tried to just stick through it, maybe I would have kept them. But, you know, I was like talking with some people and they have experiences like, I want to take my puppy back so bad, but like, or my dog back, but it's like, I just stick with it. Like, I just stick with it. I grit it through, but like, I be wanting it's like 6 months to a year later, and I be wanting to take them back sometimes too. Everybody had, I guess, this kind of overwhelming feeling because it was like, oh my God, I got to take care of another thing. You hear that ever since you was a kid because your parents be telling you that's going to be a big responsibility, and you be like, it can't be that bad, but it is. I left the house when he was here for 2 hours and I had so much anxiety. I had never known. I never knew. That's crazy. I'm worried about him, what he doing and how he doing. And much. And then I had him, he had a little gated community. He jumped over that by the time I got back them 2 hours. So I bought him a crate because I didn't want him willy-nilly running around the house. And then I felt bad for putting him in the crate. So that didn't work either. It's just like, what? What was I supposed to do? I will love you and I will cuddle you, but also it's like, this is too much for me. This is too much for me. And so, and being honest with myself, I did give myself a stern talking to. I reprimanded myself about wasting people's time and wasting people's money and being flip floppy and not knowing from the beginning, but that's okay. Like I give myself grace. I did forgive, like although I got on myself, I did forgive myself. That's all you can do. Give yourself a stern talking to, then forgive yourself because what? I'm human, like, and I was seeking companionship, and now I realize that um I'm gonna be with me, only me in this house. I'm good. I don't need. Mm-mm. I'm okay. I'm gonna sit with my feelings and figure them out before I add another responsibility of taking care of another being by myself onto anything that I'm doing. So, with that being said, further and foremost, um, that's where we are in stage one, realizing that any loneliness that we may feel, we have to combat it ourselves, with ourselves, by ourselves. We got to give ourselves some grace. Yeah, so I'm just going to like spend some more time with myself, like figuring things out, like what I can do about the loneliness on my end that doesn't involve another being or anything outside of myself. And I think that's a big deal. I think that's a really good I think that's a good lesson, you know? Like, whoa. I tried. I did. And now my cousin asked me yesterday, "Do you miss him?" I said, "No." And she was like, "Wow, that's such a you answer." But you know what? When I told everybody I was getting a dog, like the people who like, it was like, hmm, okay. So, along with that, the other thing I've learned is that sometimes when your friends try to tell you about yourself and you feel like, no, 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 it's not that, stop defending yourself and just listen because sometimes you don't even know yourself. And sometimes you do know yourself, but you're ignoring it and like, let somebody tell you. So that's another thing that, you know, it's not like it was my first time learning it, but a re-lesson is good. We love a re-lesson. Anyway, well, I guess that's it. Like, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I probably will never have a pet in my life, and I'm okay with that.